Speaker Pelosi, Senator Lindsey Graham going at it there over the Democrats' $3 trillion relief package. Congressman Dan Crenshaw, Republican, Texas, joins us now. Sir, you say that this is plain irresponsible governing. Make your case, please.
Well, there's a couple reasons why that is. For one thing, Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats, they operate in a different reality. They operate in a reality where you can keep everybody locked down forever at the government's orders and then just keep sending them checks in the hopes that there will actually be an economy there when we come back. Well, that won't happen. It will wither on a vine, and I think we all intuitively know that. Businesses continue to fail, even with PPP funding that can't last forever. And it's like they want to create this sort of socialist utopia where everybody is on some new UBI payment. All right, that's not living in reality. That's living in a false utopia. But second of all, like as Lindsey Graham said, it's dead on arrival. We haven't been able to see the text of this thing. They didn't draft this at all with Republicans. There was no input whatsoever. You know, I remember all of these freshman Democrats coming to Congress, they flipped a bunch of red seats, and they said over and over and over again that they were here to work with the other side. They just wanted to solve problems. That has never been the case. That has never been the case, not once during this session. And when America needs them the most, to actually work and solve problems, they refuse to do it. Listen, we have to be looking at the problems now with the scalpel. We have to be looking at individual issues and then solving them. You know how we can do that? We could actually be at work. We could actually be at work debating and working in committees and moving forward. And I have a bill to do something just like that.
Yeah, Congressman, you do have a plan. I believe you would extend this $600 a week emergency employment payment, $600 a week, you'd extend that even if someone goes back to work. That sounds a lot like free money no matter what you do.
Yeah. Well, so this is an example of actually solving the problem, because the way this was originally drafted and why a lot of Republicans were against it was because it ended up that we might be paying people more money to remain unemployed instead of going back to work. Okay, that's a huge problem, especially when we're trying to get our economy back on track. So what this bill does is it allows states to allow people to keep that $600 extra a week for 6 weeks, even if they go back to work. Okay, because there's no way politically that we're going to be able to remove that benefit at this point. Democrats want to extend that benefit through the end of the year, by the way. If you want to make sure that Americans don't work and remain dependent on the government, well, that's a great way to do it. With my bill, it's a great way to actually keep stimulating the economy, but encourage people to get back to work and actually get our country back on track.
Congressman, could you just give us a quick update from the state of Texas, which has opened up to as much as it can, given the restraints on it? How's it going? Are people using the businesses which are now open in Texas?
Yes, they are. You know, there was a lot of people who said, oh, Americans will be too fearful to even go to a restaurant. Yeah, that wasn't the case the first day restaurants were open. They were open to the capacity that they were allowed to. People were out. People were enjoying it. And listen, Americans understand how to keep themselves safe. They understand the notion of personal responsibility. We can trust them with that. It does not take government enforcement to keep people healthy and safe. It never has. That's never been a tenet of the American spirit, and it shouldn't be now. So Texas is leading the way. Okay, we can do this as a country. There is no data, no science, no common sense to support what, say, California is doing in LA County that just announced 3 months of extra lockdown. That is not how you treat the American people. They're breaking the contract with the consent of the governed.
Congressman Dan Crenshaw, Republican, Texas. Thanks for joining us, sir. We appreciate it. Thanks very much.